Hey team, welcome to your daily sadhana. My name is Caiti, and I'll be leading you through your practice today. Today's practice is going to involve a lot of twisting, side body stretching, as well as a lot of hip extension. We're going to be working towards the idea of a bound standing split and possibly even a bound half moon. So it's going to take a lot of the stretching of the quadriceps and the stretching of the hip flexors to be able to access those postures. So I want to use this sequence to physically set you up for success. And then I also want us to mentally and energetically set ourselves up for success by way of focusing on the efforts along the way to get there. I was telling a class the other day, it does feel a little bit cheesy sometimes to say that it's the journey, not the destination. But in the Yoga Sutras, it does say that no effort goes wasted. And I think that that is something really special and something that does kind of fall short for me sometimes in my practice off of the mat. So what I want us to focus on is the sequence at hand. And then when we start to attempt some of these bigger postures, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to attempt them. And we're going to attempt them knowing fully well that we've put in effort all the way along to even be able to try. So the sequence itself will be a little bit more complex in the way that I want you to kind of be forced to have your mind and your feet in the same place the whole time. And so that we can really just focus on the efforts and focus on what's happening right here and right now, because we won't really have the time to anticipate what's coming next. So yeah, lots of things to do, lots of things to get done. And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and start in a comfortable seat. I have a couple blocks here, and you are more than welcome to do the same. And if you don't have any blocks, grab a pillow so you can sit onto it. And so as you take a seat onto the blocks, cross at the ankles, whatever way feels comfortable. And in that way, that means that your knees are going to be able to drape down in more of an externally rotated space. And it'll just start us off on the right foot. As you settle in, relax your palms down onto your thighs and soften your eyes closed. Draw your belly button up and in like it's trying to come underneath your first lowest set of ribs. Reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling, and then softly tuck your chin just a little bit so that your neck is neutral in line with the rest of your spine. Sit firmly and proudly in your seat, knowing that you are capable of anything you place effort towards. Take a big inhale through the nose, and then a big exhale to let go. One more, breathe in. And one more to breathe out. Start to seal your lips using your Ujjayi breath to breathe in and out of your nose. And this is not only a breath of fire building heat, but also a breath of presence, something you can hear, something that's tangible to keep you rooted in the posture and the moments at hand. If your mind begins to wander or the sounds in your house begin to take hold, breathe louder, pull your mind right back to where your feet are. Breathe in through the nose and out of the nose. And stay where you are in your seat. Sweep the fingertips up overhead. You can keep your eyes closed, of course. Let your palms kiss at the top and relax your shoulders away from your ears. You might even gaze up towards your palms. And as you exhale, set the right hand down towards the ground. Reach the left fingertips up and over for a side body stretch on your left side. You can tent your fingertips, your right fingertips onto the ground, or maybe flatten your whole palm. But push your left hip back down into the ground so you are reaching from an anchored place. Inhale, rise back up, reach your fingertips up overhead, maybe palms kiss. And then exhale, left hand down, right hand up and over, side body stretch on the right. And anchor yourself into your right hip, and this time focus on the right shoulder. Draw it away from the right ear. And at the same time, still reach a little further. That's going to come from the rib cage side rather than from your shoulder creeping up a little higher. On your inhale, come back up through center, and then exhale, hands to your heart. And just a solid breath in here. A breath out of the nose. And take the block out from underneath your sits bones. And then send your legs forward to the front of your mat. Now I want you to bend your knees as much as you can, and first get all the good stuff out from underneath you. Your glutes are a lot stronger than you think. So as you move them out of the way, you can really feel your sits bones into the ground. Bend at your knees a lot. Reach your fingertips up overhead. And then as you exhale, forward fold right over the top of your thighs. Now, this is what I usually will try to do throughout multiple practices. Bend my knees a lot, scoop up the sides of my feet. And then slowly, I'll kind of inch my feet out a little bit further. Now, this is our very first forward fold of class, so I am not going to have pin straight legs by any means. So keep the deep bend in your knees for now, almost like a seated ragdoll. Soften your forehead into your shins and maybe your chin into your chest. Let your lower back start to get a stretch, and then maybe even the belly of the hamstrings start to feel a little bit of sensation. You're always welcome to continue to walk your heels further out for a little bit more, but take a breath in. Then take a breath out. And one more, we'll be here. Breath in. And then a breath out. Very slowly, I want you to peel your way up to a seat. And then keep your right leg out long exactly where it is, and then send your left leg back behind you, almost like we're setting up for a 90-90 or a half saddle. So left shin is going to be parallel to the short edge of your mat. Left shin is going to be parallel to the long edge of your mat. And then I want you to flex your toes back towards your left knee. Right toes will continue to flex back towards the right shin. And then your option is always to place a blanket or a block or maybe a small pillow underneath your right knee so that we're, again, not fully straightening out through the right leg just yet. Steady on the breath in. As you sit up, squeeze the left glute, push the left hip forward. And then as you exhale, fold over the right leg, finding a little bit more space. I know this is a little early, but the postures we're working towards, we need to have a little bit more openness in both the hips and the hamstrings. So we kick this off really early and really intentionally so that when we're ready, we're ready. Breathe in. And fold on the breath out. And one more breath in. And last breath out. Gently crawl your way back up. I want you to keep the legs exactly as they are. We're going to be working also a little bit in opposites in terms of the binds and the folds. So right hand, would you scoop, just tap it onto your left thigh. And then your right fingertips, reach them straight up towards the ceiling. Take a really big breath in. And then as you exhale, reach your left fingertips towards your right toes. We'll kind of fold down and find the side body stretch on the left side in just a different way. We're kind of pretzeling ourselves up again nice and early, but give yourself grace and room to reach or to not. Your right hand never has to touch your right thigh. It can be where you need to be. And your left fingertips never have to touch your left toes. I just have a little bit shorter legs for my frame. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then your inhale, come back up. Plant the palms behind you. Push the hips forward just for a breath in. And a breath out, come back to center, send your left leg forward. Give your legs a quick pedal, just a movement around, okay? Now we'll do the same thing on the right side. So the right leg is gonna come back around into your 90-90, and then the left leg will stay forward. I'm gonna place a block back underneath my left knee. This is completely optional. Stay upright to give your right hip a squeeze forward just by hugging the right glute. Breath in. And then an exhale, forward fold over the left leg. You can tent your fingertips, or if you have some more blocks, you can put them underneath your hands. And never feel like you have to touch your chin to your shin or anything of that nature. Every time that there's cues that are offered, whether it's in a class that you're listening to here or somewhere else in the physical world, these are always just directional cues. They're never actually literal. So take them as opportunities to lean in that direction, never as mandatory requirements. Breath in, and breath out. Gently press yourself back up, and then this time we're going to take that thread and bind. So left hand to your right thigh. Reach the right fingertips all the way to the ceiling. So we'll lengthen through the right side first, and then take a side stretch over towards your left toes. Notice again, we're saying towards the left toes. We don't have to touch them, and we don't have to really grab hold of the foot either. We're just working to make some length through the side body and just start to mimic some of the shapes that we're going to see a little bit later on in class. Breath in, then a breath out. Very slowly pull yourself back up, palms behind you to push the right hip forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just slowly sweep the right leg around, block out from underneath the left. Give yourself a quick pedal. Okay, now once you swing to a tabletop position, and we'll really start to get cruising. Blocks at the top of your mat, or if you're like me, they go underneath your palms because that's my personal preference. And then from your tabletop position, tuck your toes. Downward facing dog is where we'll meet. Move yourself around, pedal out through your heels. Kind of feel what it feels like to work the hamstrings and the hips before we even hit this posture. 9 times out of 10, even in classes that I teach, we'll be here far before we start to stretch any of those other elements. So notice what you need. Notice what you might not need. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let the head hang heavy. We'll start gaining a little bit of rhythm. Take a look forward, and then travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. On your inhale, find a halfway lift. Place the hands to your shins, to your thighs. Push the crown of your head forward. You're going to start to grip the mat a little bit with your toes because you're almost like peering over the edge of a diving board here, pulling hips on top of heels. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, release it down. Inhale, rise up for Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the fingertips up overhead, push down through your feet. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Reach the hands up tall, breathe in. Forward fold as you exhale, dive down. 2 more like that. Inhale, halfway lift, create some space. Exhale, forward fold to release. Rise up to mountain, reach up, breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Reach the hands high, inhale. Forward fold on the exhale. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Then exhale, fold for Uttanasana. Last time here, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach the fingertips high, big breath in. Anjali Mudra, hands come to your heart center in a prayer. Reach back up, Urdhva Hastasana. And Uttanasana, forward fold, water in the knees and in the hips. Halfway lift, find some space. Palm the mat, step back to your high plank position. Shift forward to your tiptoes, and always an option to drop to the knees. Lower just halfway down for your Chaturanga Dandasana. Pin the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Pop to the tops of your feet, pull your knees up. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips up and heels melt. We'll start to move a little bit differently here in our sun salutations and add some movements on. I'm going to pull my hands in just a little bit more narrow because we're going to be stepping to wide lizard lunges. So when you're ready, reach your right leg high to the sky. Heel up, toes flex down, and hips level with each other. Exhale, lizard lunge. Step the right foot to the outside of your right hand. We'll stay high up on the back toes. Now for your lizard lunge, the one particular thing I want to pay attention to is that your ankle is either directly under your knee or a little bit in front of it. When the knee is forward, it takes a lot of extra pressure. We want to protect those as much as possible. Left hand stays onto a block for me. Inhale, reach the right palm high, revolved side angle. Snuggle your right hip underneath you, closer to your left by squeezing your inner thighs together. Reach the right hand up on the breath in. Now, as you exhale, modified pyramid or high pyramid pose. So that means staying high up on your back toes, and then I want you to reach your right hand towards your left toes. Just a reach. Again, we're trying to mimic postures and mimic shapes that we'll see throughout class. So you're welcome to keep the right toes down, press them into the mat, straighten-ish through the right leg. Now on your inhale, step forward to a wide halfway lift. Hands are on the inside of your feet, lengthen up, and exhale, forward fold. Rise up for a mountain pose. Keep the feet where they are, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold, dive right back down. Halfway lift, make some space. Step back for your high plank position. Shift forward and lower halfway. Upward facing dog, pull the chest up and through. And downward facing dog will lift the hips. Left leg will lift to the sky, same. Hips like headlights towards the floor and your heel like a spotlight to the ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, lizard lunge, left foot to the outside of your left palm. Stay high up on your back toes. Notice I started to move my right foot back so that I can really seal the left heel down. A wider stance gives me a little bit more space to feel grounded. Right hand's gonna stay down for me. Inhale, revolve, side angle. Reach your left fingertips towards the sky. Start to squeeze your right leg so that your back knee begins to push more towards the ceiling. Breath in. Exhale, high pyramid with a reach. High up on your back toes, reach your left fingertips towards your right toes. Push your left toes into the mat to get a stretch to the front of your ankle. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bend into your left knee to step forward. Inhale, wide halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. To the ceiling we go. Reach up, mountain pose, big breath in. Forward fold, dive down to the ground. Halfway lift. Step back, high plank to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. We'll do that one more time on each side. Upward facing as you breathe in. Downward facing as you breathe out. Right leg to the high, please breathe in. Lizard lunge on the exhale, picking up the pace. Inhale, revolve, side angle, right hand to the sky. Exhale, high pyramid, reach right fingertips towards your left toes. Bend the right knee, step forward, halfway lift. Then a forward fold. Mountain pose as you rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana as you forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Step back, high plank position, chaturanga dandasana, lower halfway. Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, please, 3-point. Step through to lizard lunge to the outside of your left hand. Inhale, revolved side angle, left palm lifts. Exhale, high pyramid reach. Straighten the left leg, reach for the right toes. Bend the left knee, step forward, inhale, halfway lift. And fold again. Rise up, push through the feet, reach through the hands, inhale. Fold down on the exhale. Halfway, breathe in. High plank to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Upward facing on your inhale. Downward facing on the exhale. I'm gonna walk my hands up just a little bit wider this time because we'll be stepping through in between the palms from here. Steady yourself on the inhale and then melt down on the exhale. Listen for change, please. Breathe in and breathe out. Reach the right leg high, 3-point. This time, step your right foot in between your palms. Set your back knee down. Inhale for Anjaneyasana, or low crescent lunge. Reach the fingertips up overhead, and then pull your hips so that they stack just above the back knee. You're always welcome for the slow set to find a bind between the hand, maybe place them behind your head, and then floss your hips forwards and backwards with intentional pace. Never going too fast, never adding too many repetitions, just settling in. On your inhale, I want you to find that length back on top of your back knee, Anjaneyasana, breath in. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Maybe your right hand comes to your right thigh, reach the left fingertips overhead. You're always welcome to take a block, place it to your right side for extra support, right hand to block, left hand overhead. Breathe in here, and breathe out. And this time, on your inhale, I want you to plant your palms, standing splits. So we'll come through that low lunge and then swing your left leg high towards the sky. Done a lot of hamstring work here, but that doesn't mean we have pin straight legs on the right side either. Soft bend in the right knee. Activate through the left glute. So point the left toes up. Maybe you might even spiral your hips open just a little bit towards the left. Breath in. Exhale, Shiva squat or Kundalini squat. So pull the left knee behind the right. We're gonna chamber in. And I want you to engage your inner thighs here. Now my hands are gonna stay grounded. Yours are very welcome to lift. And then I'm gonna have a block ready to go underneath my left hand. Inhale for Kundalini twist or a Shiva twist. The right fingertips will reach up towards the sky. Steady yourself here on the inhale. And then squeeze a little bit further in on the exhale. Give it one more big twist. Take a breath in. Exhale, step back, left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, Skandasana at the back of the mat. So a lateral lunge as high as you want or as low as you'd like. I'm gonna keep my fingertips tented on the ground just so that I stay a little bit lifted. And then I can really start to work the flexion of my ankles rather than pulling my heel up. Breathe in. To the front of the mat we go. Exhale, lizard lunge, hands to the inside of your right foot. Now we've been here before, so I want you to drop your back knee down to the ground. Keep the left hand where it is. Inhale, reach the right fingertips forward. Exhale, tap your right elbow towards the ground. Inhale, reach the right fingertips forward. Exhale, right hand reaches back to tap your left toes. Inhale, reach the right hand forward. Exhale, step forward, Malasana squat, top of the mat. Heels in, toes out, we'll sink the hips down nice and low. I swear on the next side I'll get which hand is moving correct. Pull the chest up, push the hips down, drive the elbows into your inner thighs, heart high. Breathe in. And breathe out. Push through your feet. Inhale, mountain pose all the way up. All 10 toes go forward, please. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, step back, high plank to low plank, or your way to downward facing dog. Back bend of your choice or upward facing. Down dog is where we'll meet no matter what. Reach your left leg high to the sky, please, 3-point. And then step it all the way through, right between your palms this time. Drop your right knee to the ground, please. Inhale, Anjaneyasana or low crescent lunge. Reach the fingertips up, and then give yourself some time to melt. So the first time I had hands behind my head, this time I'm gonna take a different type of shoulder rotation, hands behind the low back. And just giving myself a way to find different rotations in the shoulders each and every time I move. Your next inhale brings you right back up to your engaged low crescent lunge. Exhale, side body stretch towards the left forearm to left thigh, and then reach the right hand overhead. Same thing we focused on, but this time it's your knee. Push the right knee down to find your anchor, and then reach the right hand overhead. On your inhale, sweep to the ground, standing splits, reach the right leg really, really high. As your right toes reach, your right hip might spiral open, that's okay. And then the bravery here comes into folding towards your left leg, maybe even starting to look behind you. Breath in here. Exhale, Kundalini squat, pull the right knee behind the left, and we're sinking a little bit lower. Almost like a shrimp squat, hug knee to knee and inner thigh to inner thigh. Place your right hand onto a block or a support system, Shiva twist or Kundalini twist, reach the left fingertips up. Start to rotate your left shoulder so that your shoulders and your heart start to look towards the left side of your room. Breathe in. Exhale, big step to the back of your mat, right toes land. Right into Skandasana on your inhale, hands down or hands up, and you can sit a little bit lower than me if you'd like. You can always come down to the ground. My heel's gonna lift. And since I want a little bit more practice in ankle flexion, I'm gonna stay high. Breathe in. Exhale, lizard lunge to the front of your mat. Hands to the inside of your left foot. Drop your right knee down. Keep the right hand where it is. Now reach your left fingertips forward, breathe in. Exhale, tap left elbow to the floor. Inhale to reach. And exhale, tap left hand to your right toes. Inhale, reach back forward, tuck the back toes. Exhale, malasana, step forward, sink the hips down. Right into mountain, push the ground away, reach the hands up. All 10 toes go forward, please, forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, high plank to low plank, or you're welcome to step right back to downward facing dog with me. If you took an upward facing dog, here's the time. Downward facing dog, we'll meet there together. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Team, let's go for it. We'll take this breath to movement just a couple times, and then we'll start to build on. Reach the right leg high, please, 3-point. Exhale, step all the way through. Right foot between the palms. Drop your back knee, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge, breath in. Side body stretch to the right as you breathe out. Hands to the ground, standing splits, breath in. Kundalini squat, breath out. Inhale, Kundalini twist, right fingertips high. Exhale, step the left toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, Skandasana, back of your mat, breathe in. Exhale, lizard lunge, float back to the front of your mat, drop the back knee. Inhale, reach the right hand forward, and exhale, tap the ground, elbow down. Reach the fingertips forward, breathe in, and exhale, tap right hand to left toes. Inhale, reach forward, tuck the back toes. Exhale, malasana, step forward, sink the hips. Rise up for mountain, big inhale. Toes go forward, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, please. Palm the mat, step back, high plank to low plank, or your way to downward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha. And exhale, Adho Mukha. Left leg high, please. Step all the way through. Drop your right knee to the ground and sweep the fingertips up, find an inhale. Side body stretch as you exhale to the left. Sweep your hands to the ground. Inhale, standing splits, right toes lift. Exhale, Kundalini squat, right knee behind the left. Inhale, Kundalini twist, reach the left hand high. And exhale, step the right toes to the back of the mat. Inhale, Skandasana, pivot to the back of the mat, big breath in. Exhale, lizard lunge, front of your space, palms to the inside, drop the back knee. Left hand reaches forward, inhale. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Reach, breathe in. Exhale, left hand to right toes. Inhale, reach forward, tuck the back toes. Exhale, step forward, malasana. Rise up for mountain, take a big inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Palm the mat, please. High plank to low plank. Upward facing, breathe in. Downward facing on the breath out. Take a big inhale, we'll change. And a big exhale. This time, look forward. And then travel to your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. We'll add a chair pose. Build strength. Sink the hips back down. Reach the fingertips high. Breath in. Exhale, open twist to the right, please. Reach the right hand behind you. Left hand reaches forward. Hips are still like headlights facing the front of your space. Breathe in. Twist a little deeper to the right as you breathe out. On your inhale, come back to chair pose. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. This time we'll step back. Left toes to the back of the mat, please. Drop your back knee, reach the hands up, inhale, low crescent lunge. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Some of this will stay the same. Palms to the mat, please. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, kundalini squat. Pull the left knee behind the right. This is where we'll shift. I want you to take your right hand, just like you've been reaching for your left toes. This time I want you to grab hold of your left foot. Option is to stay right here. An option then is to also come into a revolved dancer's pose. So I want you to kick into your hands, and that's gonna help you to start really propelling your way forward and up. We'll stay here for 3. We're gonna move to a bound standing split in 2. And on 1, we're gonna keep the right hand and the left foot exactly where they are. My left hand is gonna come to a block, maybe to the floor, and then I want you to start to point your left knee to the sky. Your standing split stays the same, so you're gonna push into your right heel, start to straighten-ish through your right leg, and then get brave enough to look behind you. Brave enough to see where you came from, with the intelligence to know you do not have to go back there, but it got you here. Breathe in. As you exhale, let go, step to the back of your mat. Awesome job. Inhale, Skandasana. And then exhale, Warrior 2, please. So our first Warrior 2 of the practice. So we're popping up and extending out, and now hips are open, a little bit more so. We'll try to find our first round of external rotation. We'll wipe a little bit of the sweat away so I'm not completely glistening. But trust me when I tell you that I'm working very hard with you, and I know that we're in this together. Reach your fingertips out, forward and backward, trying to touch the front and back of your space. Find energy and experience and engagement. Reach forward, take a breath in. Now, exhale, side angle. Right forearm to right thigh, back hand reaches up overhead. And for the purpose of today, since we've been doing a lot of side body lengthening, left fingertips reach overhead, bicep by your ears. Option for your right hand to reach down towards the floor, or maybe to a block on the inside edge of your right leg. Push into your left pinky toe side to really pull your arches off the floor and engage through your feet. Steady here for the breath in and for the breath out. Now, team, take a look forward, right in front of your right big toe. Inhale for half moon. Right hand is gonna go right in front, or not even right in front, a little further in front of your right toes. Now my hand is gonna be on a block for sure, because I need a little bit of space. But I want you to put your hands or your blocks about a torso distance away from you. The further away your hand is from your foot, the easier it is to lean forward and lean in. The closer it is, the harder it's gonna be to balance. Feel your heart up and open, and your hips open too. And then option for sugarcane pose, where we'll curl the left heel in and then scoop up the back foot, top foot. Now this time it's left hand and left foot, and then you can kick into your hand to find a little bit more of a back bend and a little bit more of a hip opener. You've got this for 3. And for 2. And on 1, very gently let go, take a big step back. Inhale, reverse triangle pose. Reach the right fingertips up and away. Straighten through the right leg. Stretch the right side. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, high plank to low plank. We just have one more side to go, I promise. Breathe in. Downward facing dog. Take a look forward, and then travel forward, fold top of your space. Halfway lift, please. Then a forward fold. Right up into chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sink your hips low, reach the hands high. And exhale, open twist to the left this time. So left hand charges behind you, right hand charges forward. Sink the hips a little bit further down and away. Push into your heels, peel the chest and the shoulders open, breath in. And breath out. Back to chair pose, big inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Halfway lift. Step the right foot back, please. Set your right knee down. Same, low crescent lunge. Reach the fingertips up. Big breath in. Exhale, side body stretch to the left this time. Right hand reaches up and over. Hands to the ground. Standing splits. Plant the palms, then reach the right heel high. And then here's where we'll start to change. Kundalini squat, right knee behind the left. Now this time your left hand is going to reach back to grab for your right. And you're welcome to stay right here. This is a perfect place to be to practice your bind. And then option is to come up for your revolved dancer's pose. So I'm going to kick into my back hand to start to propel myself upward. Not here for long, just here for 3. It's a bound standing split in 2. And on 1, I'm going to stop kicking so hard for the back foot. Right hand's going to come to the block or to the ground. And then rather than kicking into my hand, now my right knee is going to sweep up towards the sky with the strength of my glute rather than kicking. Press your chest a little closer towards your standing leg. Find a little bit more bravery and balance as you look back. Just 3, 2. And on 1, step the right toes to the back of the mat, please. Inhale for Skandasana. Pivot to the back of your mat just to straighten out, lengthen out, pull the chest up. And with strength, exhale, warrior 2, push forward. Take up a lot of your mat here. Your warrior 2 is going to be the widest stance you possibly take on your mat, almost ever. So I want you to take up space rather than thinking that you have to shrink for any reason. Reach your hands out, reach your arms out, breathe in. Side angle on the exhale. Left forearm, left thigh, back hand reaches up overhead. Right fingertips overhead, bicep towards your ears. Maybe left palm is on a block or towards the floor. Push the left hip underneath you by squeezing through your left glute. Breath in. Stay here on your breath out, please. Take a look forward on your inhale. And then as you exhale, sweep towards half moon. So we'll make our way there. It's not going to be in just one big breath. Your block will be in front of your left big toe, about a torso's distance away. Mine's a little bit closer towards my pinky toe, so I can lean back towards something as well. Full engagement through the fingertips and through the toes. And then option is for Chapasana or sugarcane pose. So right heel curls in. I'm going to scoop up right hand to right foot. And then for a little extra back bend and a little space in my hips, I'll kick into the right hand. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breath in here. As you exhale, gently release the right foot. Take a big step to the back of your mat. Inhale, reverse triangle pose. Reach the right hand up and away. Lengthen through the right side. Big inhale. And exhale, palm the mat, please. High plank to low plank. Upward facing, big breath in. Downward facing, breath out. Steady inhale. And a steadier exhale. Right leg to 3-point, please. We'll slow it down a lot. Exhale, half pigeon on the right side. Right knee comes behind your right wrist, and then right ankle comes down where it lands naturally. Mine comes down to the midline of the mat, not necessarily anywhere else. And so I'm not going to force my right ankle up to be parallel. I'm just going to leave it where it is. Left toes untucked, lengthen long behind, and then a block is welcome or a pillow is welcome underneath your right hip. You can stay upright. This is great for your left hip flexor. If you want to fold forward, this will also be great for your right side. Forearms to the mat, forehead to a block, forearms to a pillow or a block, or maybe even a set of books. Something that supports you. I don't know about any of you, but as I make it to this posture, I'm sweating a lot and I'm breathing a little heavy. And this is effort. This is effort. This is that post-effort sensation in terms of that physical work. I'm not breathing heavy only if I tried the bound standing splits or only if I tried Shavasana sugar cane. I'd be breathing heavy like this, feeling like this, no matter what. And so I was thinking about this just in a way of if three people are pushing, trying to push a boulder out of their way. And all three of us are pushing, and all three of us are giving it everything we've got. And one person moves the boulder out of their way. Okay, great. All three of us walk away feeling the same amount of tired, putting forth the same amount of effort, and having that same mental, energetic, and physical taxation. Just because one person moved the boulder out of the way doesn't mean that the other two aren't tired, doesn't mean that effort wasn't working, and it doesn't mean that effort wasn't there. And so over the course of time, practicing yoga or practicing anything, we start to realize that the efforts are where the focus lies. The results will come over time. Those two people that did not move that boulder that day will eventually, because they're continuing to put effort forward. Just because it didn't happen that one time doesn't mean it never will, and it doesn't make them different than the person who moved it that first time. When you're ready, we're simply just going to switch to the other side for half pigeon. I want you to switch however you want to. From a 3-point is a wonderful option always. You can move through down dog, and you can move all the way around, stretching your hips out, doing all the fun stuff like flipping your dog. Please take your time. I do like moving in different directions in different ways and accessing postures in different ways. So I'm just going to swing the back leg around, pull the back leg forward, almost like I'm going to go into a cross-legged seat. And then just swing the right leg back around for half pigeon on the left side. You never have to follow me. You never really have to follow any of your teachers. Don't tell them that, but same. But this is a practice of effort. It's not a practice of results. It's not a practice of one particular shape. It is a practice of feeling. And so I want you to focus on how you feel, and focus on the groundedness of each posture. Focus on whether or not there is a possibility of expansion. One of my teachers, Bethany, said that when she tells people to recognize whether or not the posture feels good, feeling good is feeling like there is a possibility for expansion. And a possibility for expansion might simply mean that there's a possibility that I could breathe more deeply here. There is a possibility that my hips could open more deeply here. There's a possibility that I could go deeper into the physical posture itself here. And so good has a lot of different meanings to all of us, but possibility is a really good way to look at that. And take a breath in. And take a breath out. Very mindfully make your way up to a seat. So we'll take the block out of our way, if you had it underneath your left hip, and then swing the right leg forward. If you took a bunch of flip dogs and all those things in between your right side, I want you to do the same thing on your left side. So please continue to do that. I'll stall for a second. And eventually we're just gonna meet in a seat. We've done a lot of peeling open, so I want us to kind of find a little space to hug in. And so curl your left heel in towards your glute. Like again, you're gonna start sitting cross-legged. And then right leg is out. It can stay right here. We're just gonna twist. Or if it feels good, you can take your right foot to the outside of your left knee. I want you to reach your right arm up and behind you. Left fingertips reach up. And then as you exhale, we'll take a twist over towards the right side. So your left arm and your right thigh are gonna push in together. Crown of your head reaches up. Breathe in. And we'll twist a little bit deeper on the breath out. Start to soften the muscles in your belly on the breath in. And then find a little softness in your twist as you breathe out. On your inhale, unravel here, and then just find a counter stretch. So hands towards the left side of your space. And then gently come up and unwind and then send the legs forward. Again, another little quick pedal, just getting a little bit of movement back in. So other side will go, so the right leg will curl in like we're gonna sit cross-legged. And then left foot will stamp onto the ground, knee towards the ceiling. You're welcome to twist this way, or option to take the left foot to the outside of your right. Left arm goes behind you, right arm goes up. And then exhale, we'll find a twist. Chamber the arm and the leg together and push them in towards one another. Use your left arm behind you like a second spine, so lean up against it, straighten your arms so there's a support system there. Breath in as you sit tall. Then a deep exhale to move a little further. Breath in with the possibility. And the breath out is the actual expansion. Unravel on your inhale, find your counter stretch. Then exhale, come back to the center and unravel everything. Send the legs long. Again, take a little bit of space here, and then we'll come all the way down to lying on our backs. So take your time to get there, and then if you like props like I do in terms of shavasana or twists or any of those things, please bring them. Now, as you lie down onto the ground, you are very welcome to find an inversion of your choice. That can simply be hugging the knees in, because that's going to pull the hips a little higher than your heart. It could be a full happy baby, so knees to the outside edges of your shoulders, feet towards the ceiling. You can grab the outer edges of your feet, your ankles, or even just scoop the back of your knees. I say even just. No, scoop the back of your knees. It's very comfortable that way. I want you reaching for comfort, not capacity. You've done plenty of that. And if happy baby doesn't feel good to you, waterfall could be really nice. Just legs up the wall, hips anchored to the ground, or maybe even your hips anchored onto a block. Allow your feet to just feel a little bit lighter than they have all practice long. Your heart to feel more full than it has maybe all day. Breathe in. Then breathe out. Gather your knees back in towards your chest. And then I want you to float your knees on top of your hips like you're in a reverse tabletop position. And then slowly drop your knees towards the left side of your space. You might even shimmy your left hip underneath you a little bit more to stack your hips as we move into our easy twist. Shoulders stay down onto the ground, chest facing completely towards your ceiling. Option is to add a blanket or a pillow or a block in between your knees as you twist. This helps soften the spaces in my low back, especially on the left side for anybody that has a little bit of sciatica pain. Space between your knees is going to be really helpful. There's a very good chance that your chiropractor or your PT told you to sleep with a pillow between your knees. Same idea here, just allowing yourself to find more space in your low back specifically. Only when you're ready, take yourself back up to an inhale. So knees back up towards the ceiling, stacked directly on top of your hips. And then as you exhale, drop them to the right side. For your easy twist on that side. I'm going to shimmy my right hip underneath just a little bit so that my hips are more level and stacked on top of one another. And then left shoulder drops down to the ground because, again, we need some place to anchor from. We need a place to grow from. A plant without roots really isn't going to go anywhere, right? So we push down into something. We root into something. Every time you're in a posture, I want you to really think about where you're rooting from. Could be your feet, could be your hands, could be your sits bones. Could be your shoulders, like we are right now. Breathe in. And breathe out. Very softly, pull your knees back in towards your chest. And this time I want you to give your knees a big hug and a squeeze. Draw them in, wrap the arms around the shins. Maybe your nose even draws up to meet your knees. And then take some time expanding into Shavasana. Take up space on your mat. Take up space in your room or wherever it is that you are. You can lie on your back, your belly, your sides. You can use blocks underneath your knees, the back of your head. If you're at home, my goodness, grab a blanket, grab a pillow, grab a couple. Crawl back into bed. But allow yourself to be comfortable. Take notice of the sounds around you. You might have put some music on behind the video. Any of the natural creaks and cracks in the house or in the space where you are. Maybe the sounds of the people you live with or the pets you live with running around. And the noises just simply being the soundtrack to how you live. They're not calling you to do anything. They're not asking for you to be anywhere. They're just simply part of your life. And what a treat it can be sometimes to lie in stillness and just listen to your own soundtrack with nothing to do. No actions to take, no answers to give. Just an acknowledgement of where you are and who and what surrounds you. Honor yourself. Honor the world you've created. And honor the evolution that it will absolutely still take. You are always putting forth effort. And your effort will inevitably lead you somewhere. And so without knowing where that is, we focus on the efforts at hand. Be present with yourself and be present with your work. And know that it's always enough. Stay here for as long as you like, or begin to flicker life back into your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and roll out your ankles, and maybe take a full body stretch. In a way that feels good to you. We'll meet in his seat. You might be seated on the block where you were before, or you might be seated in a different way, or you might still be lying down. From wherever you are, place your palms in towards your heart center. And then softly draw your thumbs to meet your third eye, the space between your brows. The teacher that lies within me sees and honors the teacher that lies within you. Together we'll close our practice with a bow forward in gratitude for ourselves and for each other and for this practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me and for taking time for yourself. And I will see you next time.